Hello, this is my Module 2 practices presentation. The first step of the engineering design process is to ask the question, what is the best land cover for healthy watershed? The standard I chose is from the Next Generation Science Standards. It's use observations to describe patterns of what plants and animals, including humans, need to survive. This is for grades K through 2, focusing on kindergarten. I chose this standard because plants, animals, humans need clean drinking water to survive. It's a necessity to all of us, so if we can find ways to have healthy, clean drinking water, it'll help us in the long run and our planet. Imagine I chose to use milk cartons. We use a lot of milk where I work, so it was something I had easy access to. Grass or a plant. I did not have time to have grass grow, so I figured using a mum plant to help cover the soil and create a barrier to help the water stay clean with the roots and the plant would help that. Put the soil into 3 milk cartons, put the flour in one, soil and leaves in another, and just soil in the last. Tie cups to the end to catch the runoff. Pour water in each and see how the water comes out. Repeat or modify if needed. So for the create part, on the left, I had the cup with just the soil. In the middle, it's kind of covered by the mum. I have a milk carton with soil and leaves on top. And then I have in the third milk carton on the right, I have a mum plant with soil in it as well. For the create portion, I was able to use one of my students for this. I have permission from her parents. She, in the first picture on top, she's pouring water into just the soil, and this is what the water looked like after. It's very dirty, unclean. This is what the water looked like after being poured into the mum. It's wasn't as clean as I thought it was going to be. I honestly thought the water from the mum was going to be cleaner. I was very surprised, and you can kind of see it in this picture and see it down here, how clean the water came out from the leaves on top and the soil on the bottom. There were little tiny specks of soil, but it basically came out clear, which is not what I was expecting. So to align it to the chart in the Vasquez reading, for science, plan and carry out investigations. We made models, we listed out materials needed, and then planned how to use the materials, and then obtain, evaluate, and communicate information. Observed what was happening, and I talked about it with my student who I was working with, as to what happened, which water came out the clearest, which water came out the dirtiest. For engineering design solutions, water wasn't coming out of the milk cartons, so we had to kind of tilt the carton up and use a block to kind of create the runoff. And the flour was causing no water to come out, so we had to find ways of pouring it in. For technology, learn how to use technologies as they become available. Could have created a 3D model using a computer rendering or figure out the proper amounts of soil. And then for mathematics, use appropriate tools strategically. Water bottles for pouring, because for my kids' dexterity. Block for a slope, materials for the trial. And then look for and make use of structure. Sloping the one milk carton really helped. Talked about how the shape of the carton affected the result. So, like, it kind of curved and then curved down, and then the spout was up a little bit. So we had to wait a while for the water to come out. What I could do to improve, I would probably use a different type of bottle. I would also probably actually use grass and see what would happen when I used the grass versus the plants. If I had more time, I would like plant grass and like how in the video it was showed, plant the grass and wait the week and see what would happen. So in summary, like I my student who I did this with really enjoyed it. She thought it was really fun. Um, she enjoyed seeing the water come out. We had one mishap where we poured too much water in and water went spilling everywhere, but it was fine. We had a lot of helpers. I think this really helped to show the engineering side because we had to kind of engineer a solution to the water not coming out as fast as we would have liked it. So we figured out, hey, let's prop it up using a block. And that was really cool to see, like, how her brain was working to, because at first she held it up and I was like, oh, is there something else we could use? And she's like, oh, we could get a block. And so it was really cool to see, like, the engineering part of that and see how we could build it to fix it. Thank you so much for watching my presentation.